Welcome, everyone. We are back, and we have a fantastic story. So everyone loved the Murdaugh series, so we're doing a part 3. So everyone, stick around for it.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show tonight. We're going to do a follow-up on the Murdaugh story. It's about the craziest story I've seen in my life as far as deceit, lies, murder, drugs, insurance fraud.
Unknown.
But there's so much going on here, and we're trying to do our best to keep up with the facts, and improve each week with our information. But if you want more details on this, get on the freespeechforum.com, search for the Murdaugh thread, and we have 9 pages. A lot of people from South Carolina talking about this. You can find a lot of interesting. Yeah, you can find
some great inside details.
Yeah, inside details.
That's where you're going to get. Yeah,
check out the freespeechforum.com, and you can accuse us of all the things we say wrong tonight, too. But so we got a great sponsor, Bob.
Yeah, let me mention something that's diametrically opposed to all this chaos and weakness and lying and everything, and that's the Palmetto Steel.
It's rock solid.
I like to call them the men of steel, like Superman, but, folks, you can depend on them for construction-grade steel, bending metals, you name it, they do it. They are probably the leading steel company in the U.S., and we're so happy and proud to have them sticking with us.
Their contact info is on the page right there. So.
Thank you, Palmetto. We love you, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
So,
we got an audio file, right, that's going to open us up?
Yeah, so we have an audio file, so I guess we'll go ahead and...
Disgraced attorney Alex Murdaugh's wife, Maggie, sought out a divorce lawyer just weeks before she and her son
I don't know how to turn this up.
It's kind of low volume.
South Carolina properties, according to a report. Maggie, 52, drove to
So she sought out a divorce lawyer.
Maggie,
right before being murdered.
His wife.
To the scion of the prominent legal dynasty, a law enforcement source told people.
This robot lady.
The news came just as she had begun to learn more about the family's finances, according to the source.
So we'll give details on what's being said in case you can't hear it.
The source told the outlet.
We need supers.
6 weeks later, Alex discovered the bodies of Maggie and their younger son, Paul, 22, shot multiple times.
Can we pause it?
I think it's over.
So
you can kill it, right?
So basically what it was saying, if you couldn't hear it, was that Maggie, Alex Murdaugh's wife, the guy that's implicated in as the center point of this.
The kingpin.
She had sought a divorce 6 weeks before. Is that what it says?
Yeah. Met with a divorce lawyer.
And she started to get into his finances, it said, into Alex's finances. And that's probably a good place to start uncovering a lot of details about where in the hell is this money coming from and going.
Yeah. I think you mentioned this like 3 weeks ago, too, when we did the first part 1 of the series. So.
Yeah, there's so much information.
And that came straight from the forum. So.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with, but...
It is like a plate of spaghetti, man. It's just such a mess.
So she started getting into his finances. Sounds like she wanted some to take with her, a lot.
Oh, no shit, yeah.
So, hey. I mean, I wonder why she got off.
Women can smell a rat before a man can even see it, man. Come on. She knew where to go.
I mean,
and that attorney probably told her, too.
Well, I mean, what if she knew she was buried in deep and just wanted to try and separate herself and take a little bit as she went?
So I saw that they were living in different houses too, but supposedly they would text each other at the end of every night to close the night. But we'll talk about that more.
Not the happiest of marriages.
His lawyer tried to act like it was, but we'll talk about that more in a second.
So what's our first video?
They were living in separate houses?
They were living in separate houses, yes.
That's like that joke where the guy says, do you and your wife like to talk after sex? And he says, sure. I pick up the phone, give her a call.
Nice, Bob.
Oh, all right, so let's go ahead and play this first video.
And more breaking news, Alec Murdaugh is facing a new lawsuit, this time by his former law firm that still bears his name. The firm is suing him over how he handled money. News 2's Riley Benson has covered this story from the very start. He joins us now live in studio. Riley, break down some of the latest developments.
Yes, Sophia, in a statement, the Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Elstroth, and Detrick law firm confirms to me they are suing Alec Murdaugh for misappropriation of
Wait, so this is his law firm that he worked for?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably
funds
founded.
in an effort to recover money stolen from both the firm and clients. They say it's something that went on for years.
Yeah, so just 1 second. You said probably something you found out. That's what I was about to say. I mean, this is like his family business, is it not?
Yeah.
So he's basically stealing from himself?
No,
Like,
the firm. I mean, you heard there's like multiple
Technically,
lawyers.
you could say that. but
Yeah, the firm
It's called
and
embezzlement.
yeah.
Yeah.
and he was hitting up clients too. Though there was a lot of insurance fraud with like deaths. You know, he'd set up funds for people to receive their insurance money from the
Yeah.
deaths, and he would cut off the top. You know,
He did that with the housekeeper.
with
that
the
fell,
housekeeper. Yeah, and what's crazy about the housekeeper is it seemed like a family member was implicated in the murder. You know,
Yes.
and that's the primary reason he's been arrested.
Racketeering
is
is,
the
another
insurance
phrase
fraud,
for it.
The insurance fraud with the housekeeper that died falling down the stairs. But there's so much to keep up with. Yeah.
Lawsuit claims Murdaugh submitted false documentation for the firm and clients over a period of years. It allowed him to funnel stolen funds into
was doing this for
fraudulent bank
years.
accounts and used law firm assets in an unauthorized manner to further his fraud scheme. Now, this isn't the only new development in this case today. Eric Bland, attorney for the estate of Gloria Satterfield, filed a motion yesterday to depose both the judge and attorneys involved in the death settlement for the Gloria Satterfield's estate. Now, Bland tells me this is in an effort to uncover the distribution of more than $4 million death settlement for Gloria Satterfield.
So, John, do you have any information on Gloria? Is that the housekeeper?
Yeah. So,
Yes.
so $4 million basically. Gloria supposedly fell down the stairs at the Murdaugh house. Okay. She died. I'm not going to get into rumors there, but she died. Supposedly she had life insurance. Okay. Murdaugh set up all his buddies to represent her. Who killed her, life insurance, received the money. Okay. He set it up. He told her son, she had 2 sons, I'm going to get you the money. And he's like, well, you need to go to this investment company here, whatever it's called, Spectre LLC. I'm just making that up. And then he created a shell company that was named the same name as the investment company. He just changed the words a little bit. So he had them write a check. He had the insurance company write a check. This investment company was taking the money on behalf of her sons, and Alex Murdaugh received the check for multiple millions of dollars and put it in his account for the business that was named like the investment company.
So it was just as if the
But-
check had a typo, basically.
Didn't
Yeah,
he give the
exactly.
sons
Or
a
a
token
miswrite.
amount?
Oh no, well possibly, but it sounded like they just kept telling him, "Oh, it's caught up in the process. It's caught up in the process."
I see.
So one thing I want to mention is this video, it used a really interesting verbiage. He called it a fraud scheme, which is like, that's a really, really dirty way of like, I mean, this is not something that he didn't just wake up and
Oh,
Yeah.
he was good at this
This
stuff.
was-
He'd
this
been
was
doing it for decades.
methodically planned out. This was not.
He had a system.
Exactly. And his buddies, they would always help facilitate this too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what
That's
I
what's-
don't know if we have a video on it, but his close friend and partner they've had stepped down. So
Yeah, I think that's coming up next.
That's just one example, but I think they're finding out
They were
this is-
pulling big time mafia stuff with embezzling and racketeering. So there was a whole network, and they just over and over and got so cocky.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
so much time, somebody finally had enough, smelled the rat, and that's when the shooting started.
And this is just one of the hustles. Like this
Yeah.
story on its own would
Yeah.
be
well,
would be a huge
and there's
story.
still more on this story.
Yeah, so let's go.
It's a clear paper trail. I don't know whether they're waiting to see what Alex Murdaugh did with the money, but that's not the crime. He could have given it to Mother Teresa, although I suspect he didn't.
This is
The
the
crime
lawyer,
is taking
Gloria
the money
Satterfield.
under false pretenses and claiming that it was going to Forge Consulting. certainly
Forge,
SLED
that's
and
real
law
estate.
enforcement already know that Forge Consulting put out on their website they had nothing to do.
Now, Murdaugh's attorney Jim Griffin released a statement in response to this latest lawsuit, calling it a very sad development and that Alec has pledged his full cooperation to the law firm. Alec Murdaugh is currently in a rehabilitation facility after being accused of hatching an insurance fraud plan that ended with a botched suicide attempt. He is tied to at least 5 death investigations, including those of his wife and late son. Reporting live in studio.
That suicide attempt wasn't botched. It went off
That was part of
exactly
it.
as
I was
planned.
gonna say, that was part of this whole scheme.
Hell yeah,
I mean,
he was
there's
never
no-
going
you
to blow
don't-
his head off.
You don't
Good
plan
Lord.
to, you don't plan your suicide, give someone a gun, no
Well-
one is around, and then that doesn't happen.
This is the scene. Here's Murdaugh in his truck, and here I am, the dude standing there with a 45, and I take 2 pops, and he gets flesh wounds.
That
That's
just doesn't-
ridiculous.
Even if he had flesh wounds, he shows up at the courthouse without even a bandage on his
right.
head. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
man, I would have blown the whole side of Brooks's head off.
A flesh
man.
wound. A flesh
nice of
wound
you.
is, a small caliber round coming in from a funky angle, and you get lucky, and it bounces off your skull.
Right.
Maybe it goes through a couple pieces of sheetrock before it hits you, and it just bounces off your skull. Flesh wound isn't. I'm 2 inches away from your head.
Yeah.
So why would you botch that on purpose? What do you think? What is the motive of that?
who knows?
Sympathy and to deflect.
I mean, yeah.
I'm innocent. Somebody tried to kill me. I didn't got anything to do with this.
I mean, maybe he was really trying to stage a suicide to make people think he died.
Right.
I don't know what they would have planned, but they
And
had
he
so many.
heads off to Grand Cayman or something.
They had so many people that covered for him. Like this South Carolina State Police would be like, "Oh yeah, he's dead." Even you'll find.
Well, yeah. This isn't a botched suicide attempt. This is a botched escape attempt.
Exactly.
That's what
There
it
it
is.
is.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the best.
Good one,
And
Jerry.
real quick, you heard them say Forge Consulting. Forge Consulting was who was supposed to receive the insurance money, but Alex had them write a check to Forge, just Forge, which was in the bank account that he opened.
Wow.
So he just took the check from the insurance company and put it in his bank
It's a
account. And this-
very, very easy trail to follow.
yeah, that's what the guy
what's that
said.
song? Smooth Operator. Remember
They
that?
thought they were.
Yeah, so we have another media item.
In a Fox Carolina News alert, Corey Fleming, a former lawyer involved in the death settlement for Alex Murdaugh's housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, has been suspended from practicing law in South Carolina by the Supreme Court. They say it's due to misconduct, that he is under investigation. He's already admitted to all of this as well. Gloria Satterfield was Murdaugh's housekeeper for 20 plus years. She died when she tripped over the family's dogs and
Tripped over the family's dog
That
down
they,
the stairs.
that they threw between her legs.
The dogs were really wanting to get down quick, ran right in front of her.
downstairs. Now, the current attorney on the case, Eric Bland, said a settlement was reached with Corey Fleming's firm. So Satterfield's sons would get some of the money they were owed. Now, Bland told us Alex Murdaugh filed insurance claim for Gloria's death.
He
We're
filed
talking
it.
over $4 million. He then told the sons to use Corey Fleming. They didn't know. They were good friends. In fact, that he was the godfather for one of his sons. Well,
Wow.
that led to a lot of embezzlement, and it led us to this. Alex Murdaugh being arrested and charged, with botching his own suicide to hire plot after learning that money was missing. This summer,
His
Murdaugh's
escape
wife
plan.
and younger son were murdered on the hunting land. No arrests have been made, but again, it's just another piece to this saga that continues to uncover week by week.
Those are just like demonic eyes when you look at that picture.
Yeah,
of
every
him.
picture he takes, really, he just looks
He's
like the devil.
he's got to be a sociopath. You have to be.
Yeah,
Pull that
it's-
kind of shit.
And a drug addict.
So so Corey Fleming is the name that keeps coming up. That was one of Murdaugh's great friends. I think they went to school together, like college together. And he's the one that stepped down from his firm, from the law firm, and
Godfather of his kids.
yeah, he's also the one that was representing. He was part of the hustle. He was the con. He was help facilitating everything.
Right.
Sounds like he
Well-
wanted to be part of it to get a little bit, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to dive into the pool.
Oh, I bet he was
that,
getting plenty
He
because
probably was,
Well, hey,
but
there's that great Foot of Pride by Bob Dylan, there's one line in there that says, sometimes Satan comes as a man of peace.
That sounds
And
exactly
that's
like
exactly
what they're doing.
what that dude was doing. He was playing both sides of the coin.
And interesting, you got to remember in this whole story that the Murdaugh family for 100 years has been embedded in the South Carolina justice system.
They owned it.
This is a good old boy family that's been there for years and years. It's not just one lawyer.
They're not doing anything wrong. They've been there for 100 years.
That's what I'm talking about, like the Genovese family, the mafia in New York. You get so big, nobody can stop you.
And I even saw the Murdaugh family contributed $35,000 to the state government's, to the state governor's investment fund. And
great.
There's a lot of theories out there that there's going to become a lot of political connections from this.
Oh, man.
All of the
People
money.
help covering up.
Oh my God, yes.
All right, so let's play this last video we have.
On J. Matthews, we're driving to Islandton, South Carolina, home of the grisly Murdaugh murders.
Some
We
paranormal
are hoping to
investigators.
find any evidence and
Really?
see if
Going to the site of the
they'll
Murdaugh
talk to us
mystery.
again.
Murdaugh murders.
I think we're going to find any ghost
But
activity.
again, that's not what we're after. We're after
He
evidence
did say it was
and
satanic. So.
truth.
Evidence and truth. What we're looking for.
I like the music.
Yeah.
We're here in Islandton, South Carolina, home of the
I hate the audio
location
quality.
of the Murdaugh compound,
Need better mics.
which was coincidentally the site of the grisly Murdaugh murders, which occurred here recently. And as part of True Searchers, we're here to investigate. Jake, we talked about being up on some current events. Typically, paranormal investigations.
Is that his ghost meter on
delve
his
into history,
chest?
really. Sites
Looks
that
like
are,
it.
that are maybe decades or even centuries old, millennia, if you will. But this is one that's more recent than that. And you believe that there might be some paranormal activity. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think that there's a lot of paranormal activity here in South Carolina. These murders are just one occurrence.
He says there's a lot of paranormal activity in South Carolina.
Jerry, listen to the experts.
In case people
I
can't
want
hear
to talk
it.
on this, but just for a second now, we think these people think that there's ghosts involved with the Murdaugh family, and there's ghosts involved with all these murders, and no, there's no ghosts involved with any of this. They're on drugs. They're working with drug kingpins. They're working with political,
I disagree with you, Jerry.
These
I think
people
it's
are crazy.
I think it's drug addict ghosts.
Yeah.
That's
what it is.
In case
That's what it
people
is.
can't hear the audio, I don't know if we can go back and can't hear, but yeah.
I think
these are
they can hear it.
paranormal investigators. Yeah, and they said there's a lot of paranormal activity
in South Carolina. In South
I
Carolina.
mean, there could be some kind of evil associated with it. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, oh, yeah.
Well, look at it this way. I mean, there's two types of energy. There's dark energy and there's light energy. It's the yin and yang of life. Of course, there's demonic,
There's people
negative,
that feed off
black
that.
activity. These people were just ruthless murderers, drug users, embezzlers.
That's true, but
they
these
didn't
people-
give a damn what they
these
did
people
to
don't
people.
have a ghost on a collar walking it every morning.
Well, let's see real quick. Are we going to watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
See if
let's
they
roll
find
into it.
anything.
Presence. So we thought that we'd come and investigate, the whole area. And what do you know? The Islandton, not an island town.
Whoa! That's the first
It's
instance
not an
of
island
ghosts.
town. A ghost
Man.
must have made that.
What a joke. That jokester.
Are they walking down the road there? Is that what I see?
Oh, those
Yeah,
are
I think
ghosts.
that's where Stephen Smith got ran over.
Oh, I got some good info on that.
Was it run over or shot?
We're in front
Help me
of
So-
where the
so
Stephen
they-
Smith.
So they said he was run over, and the coroner said yes, he was run over. But then the people said, well, there wasn't any pieces of a truck out there, like any glass or windows, and there was a massive hole in his skull,
Okay.
like where it looked like he was bashed in. And when they asked the coroner about this, she got very angry. She's like, "No, this is what happened." So she's on the payroll.
Oh yeah,
This is
that's another million in
This
her
is
pocket.
Stephen Smith, and I can give background on this when we finish this, but I found some interesting info about this today.
Yeah, Bob, this is the cool thing about this video. They're going to the sites of where all this activity
Where
took
all the
place.
murders were.
He's
Yeah.
got
Okay,
black
cool.
eyeliner.
All right.
murders took place. We're doing an investigation, see if we can find any
That's the
evidence
scariest
that
part
will
of this
immediately
video.
hand over to
Yeah.
authorities.
look at each other,
Yeah.
and then look back.
Is that some kind of cross he's got on?
Yeah. Crucifix.
So are they just trying to feel ghosts right now? I don't walk through, and maybe they walk through one.
We're here outside of the Murdaugh County, or the Murdaugh compound, site of the Grizzly Murdaugh murders.
What's grizzly?
Okay, we haven't found
It's a
anything
bear.
here yet.
It's a kind of bear.
What are you hoping to find?
Blood and guts
Again,
strewn
we're
about
true
outside the
searchers. We
body.
investigate ghosts,
Entrails.
aliens, demons, cryptids, and sometimes true crime. Perhaps, especially when the true crime intersects with paranormal and entities.
So they don't
Any
even
evidence
say
of
anything.
them
They just
help
keep saying they investigate paranormal
We're offering
activity.
a $100,000 reward, but we're after the truth.
See my next
We'll keep
video.
investigating, and any evidence we get, we'll definitely give it to local authorities. But we're certainly here looking for the truth.
Anything they get.
Evidence and reason-based.
So
paranormal
far they haven't
investigation.
done anything.
Yeah.
So far this whole time
Thank
they
you
haven't
for your
done
video.
anything.
You found nothing.
They're getting
Now they're walking out. So I mean, I respect them for trying to create something and try to do something. You know, we can make fun of them. A lot of people make fun of us, but nothing.
So
nothing was
far,
revealed in there.
we just watched a 3-minute video of ghost hunters that did nothing but walk on a dirt road, right? And they didn't feel any ghosts. All they did. The only thing that we learned was that
They also went to
Island
the-
Town was not an whatever it's called is
That's
not
good
an
info.
island.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
only thing we learned.
So
And they went to the site of the murder of the Alex and his daughter. I mean, son,
they
right?
they went outside the compound.
Right.
Alex and Paul and
His mom.
Alex's wife were murdered at the hunting lodge.
Right.
Stephen Smith was the one that was supposedly hit by a car. And I found some interesting stuff about the Stephen Smith story. You can read it on our forum.
Well, doesn't that go back to some homosexual relationship?
Right. And the Stephen Smith thing, I believe, happened before the housekeeper thing.
It did.
And
Yes.
so Smith, like I said, they said he was hit by a car, and then no, he was bashed in the head, and then the coroner, whatever they're called, said no. She got real mad when they said no, he wasn't hit by a car. So the story behind that was Buster, who was Paul's brother. Alex had 2 sons, Paul and Buster. And Buster is also the name of Alex's dad. And Alex, so Buster had 2 friends, and supposedly one of them was reckless, and he had shot at a car one time, and some other, it seems like they roped these 2 guys in there to potentially take the fall for Buster. But, Buster was supposed to go on a trip with this Stephen Smith. And Stephen Smith's sister, he had a twin, his twin sister, said that there was a relationship that was developing between Buster and Stephen, that's straight from an article, straight from his sister's mouth. So that's what you were talking about, the homosexual relationship between Buster and the Stephen Smith guy.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly they were trying to pin it on the reckless kid, but basically where the Stephen Smith story has just gone completely cold. And so it's lost in the court system, buried by the good old boy system. But people are saying that this was the first, murder thing that they got into, and the family recognized like, oh, we can get away with murder. And I think it's part of what led to their they think they're bulletproof.
Many murders, getting rid of the people they don't like,
So
getting more money.
Stephen Smith dies, and then the housekeeper dies. And then I believe the next thing is Paul kills the girl on the boat.
Yeah, Mallory Beach.
Mallory Beach, thank you. And then you have Paul and his mother get shot and died.
Right.
And who knows what else is going to come out, And then you have all the insurance fraud, all the connections with the political organizations. They said SLED. It's like the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. It's like the FBI of South Carolina.
Right.
Supposedly the leader of the SLED was going to step down because the FBI was forcing him to, but it kind of blew over, and SLED's still investigating this, but they've got the feds involved. So obviously,
there's a lot of people that aren't getting a good night's sleep right now. Haven't been for months.
Oh yeah.
They're connected, and they're working their way down the line, and they're going to turn somebody
Well,
Did they get the right guy? You want to do 60 years, or would you rather give us these names?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much involved. These people, they thought, oh, quick million here, quick million there. No one will ever know. Well, yeah. Then a few months down the road or a year goes by, and you can't sleep for 6 months because you know it's coming down. You know the feds are going to knock on your door. You just don't know which day.
It's the same type of psychosis that set in with the Biden administration. You think you're literally above the law, and once that happens, you're lost. Was it Machiavelli that said power corrupts and power ultimately corrupts and power ultimately corrupts? How'd that thing go?
Sounds ultimate, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so
they
power's
you
gonna
lose yourself. And you are taking over.
What's crazy, though, is like all this could have been potentially buried. You know, the Stephen Smith stuff as well as the housekeeper stuff. But what happened was when Paul had that boat accident and ran into a column and killed Mallory Beach, all of a sudden that got all the things going about the family again, you know, and it brought a lot of attention to the family.
That's what's really scary is someone that has, or a family that has as much power as they have. They can do stuff like this.
Well, think about all the shit they've represented over the years, all the people that are digging around in some weird stuff they weren't happy with. Yeah. I'm telling you, there's a whole lot more that's coming.
Yeah, and again, when Paul killed Mallory, you know, the police officers that showed up, they were like, oh, you know, we'll investigate this. And somebody else said that, oh, that's the Murdaugh family. You're not going to do anything.
No, he said good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been talking a lot on this podcast, but I've been trying to read and keep up with the thread on the forum. So I got one more thing I want to talk about if we're good with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So we didn't have time to get the video in, but last night, Murdaugh's personal lawyer, Alex Murdaugh's personal lawyer, was interviewed by a South Carolina TV station. And basically, the conversation, even though he's representing him for the insurance fraud, the conversation led to him about him being a person of interest in his son and wife's murder. And so his attorney gave his alibi and said that night Alex was watching a game show with his mom who has dementia. That was his alibi. So, I mean, you know, you can't ever verify it. He said he was watching a game show with his mom with dementia.
I thought he was the one that showed up and said, my wife has been shot.
He was the one that showed up, but I guess that was after he got done watching the game show.
Okay.
And so
the game show ended.
What was it? The Wheel of Fortune?
And when the lawyer was talking about this, you could tell he was like full of shit.
I'm not buying it.
But then they also, and it almost seemed like the anchor was helping direct this, but they started to change, like, well, what if it was an out-of-body experience because of drug use, you know?
Oh, my God.
What if it, and the attorney was like, yeah, we'll get to the bottom of this, but to me, they're trying to set the stage for him to plead insanity, you know, under the influence of drugs.
Out-of-body experience.
But he is in rehab right now, right?
Right. So that's my story. You guys kind of give closing opinions, but
that might be a video that we can get on here if we do a part 4. If you guys like it, you know. Definitely give us a like.
Give
and
some
subscribe.
views, likes, comments.
Yeah, we
get
will.
on the forum, freespeechforum.com, thefreespeechforum.com.
Yeah, get on the forum. Go read through that thread. Come back to us. Post in the comments. If you guys want a part 4, we'll do a part 4.
Yeah, and check out our podcast. We're on all major podcast networks. So.
Yep.
But anyway, I think that was great. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.